indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The prayer today, dear Lord, last Saturday was December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. It was 83 years ago. On a Sunday morning, approximately 7:48 a.m., we were attacked. It was a time of great evil in the world. We also remember those who stood their ground, those who fought on all battlefronts to ensure that evil would not prevail. We thank you that in the hour of need, you gave men and women the strength and resolve to stand, whatever the cost. May those brave souls who still remain here with us in mind and in spirit, may we thank them for their bravery and sacrifice. Amen.
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 Apologies if I failed to grab the number one, so I'm going to be number two. You got number one?
Okay.
Still in my box. On December 3rd, for financials, I approved a revenue certification from the engineer's office in their building fund for additional unbudgeted transfers in money for 2024. And number two, on December 6th, for Job and Family Services, I acknowledge the following new hire appointment as the Executive Director of Job and Family Services, complied with the Board of Commissioners' requirements and hiring procedures for Josephine Thompson, eligibility referral specialist 1, which is the replacement position, and that is effective November 25th, 2024. And for maintenance, I approved hiring Lee Orlowski to the position of part-time general communications clerk, switchboard operator, to be effective January 6th, 2025, at the rate of $15.13 per hour, with a 1-year probationary period. The offer of employment was contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions, and I approved hiring Scott Griffith to the position of full-time senior maintenance technician, to be effective January 6, 2025, at the rate of $21.54 per hour, with a 1-year probationary period. That offer of employment was also contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions.
We have a motion for meeting minutes for November 19th.
Okay, so move.
Second?
Yes.
Morning. Okay, today's financials include various appropriations, transfers, and supplemental appropriations and de-appropriations to adjust accounts and funds to balance for final invoices and year-end. There's cash transfer from the general fund to the county facility bond retirement fund for the money needed to pay the principal and interest payments for next year on this building, and a cash transfer from the general fund to phase 2 capital reserve fund for money that will be needed for the courthouse expansion. And there's also a transfer from the general fund to community development for an additional $15,000 in order to balance out their fund for year end. And this amount will be removed from their first quarter 2025 transfer. Among the encumbrances is the then and now from the Commissioner's Office to Kimberly Bioni for appointed council fees from 2023 that were not previously encumbered. Among the vouchers is $1,053,105.31 from the Commissioner's Office to Infinity Construction Company for pay request number 14 of the courthouse expansion project. And also $12,985 from the Engineer's Office to Junction Buick GMC for a 2024 GMC terrain replacement vehicle, and a 2020 Dodge Ram 1500 pickup was traded in for $17,000, plus they received a $2,500 rebate, making the total purchase price $32,485. And finally, there are revenue certifications and decertifications from Community Development, Emergency Services, Job and Family Services, Juvenile Court, Sheriff, and Water Resources for additional unbudgeted revenue or budgeted revenue that they received or did not receive in 2024 in order to balance out their funds for year end.
I just had one question. The cash transfer from the general fund to phase 2 capital reserve fund.
Yes.
How it says?
It's just $1 million. So in the next year, when we go to transfer the $10 million out of the general fund, I will make it $9 million. This is just what I think we need in order to balance the fund out, so we don't need to close out all the contracts, we can just carry them over. And also, just in case, as far as the transition time between this year and next year, and making sure that the money gets over there and certified and appropriated, and we're able to encumber the rest of the money to build the courthouse expansion.
Is this the result of the ARPA money issue that we had?
Partly, yeah. The money would already be there had we been able to do things the way that we thought we were gonna be able to do them. This is kind of just a stopgap and to keep us from having to,
And
close out.
to date, since our last conversation, how much money has been returned back that was gone out to these payroll accounts? Has any money come back yet?
Not yet. We do have a resolution that you're probably gonna be looking at next week to return the money from their certificate of title admin from the clerk of courts. She has elected to return the money that ARPA paid of her salaries from the certificate of title admin fund.
That's good to hear.
And I haven't received any further decisions on any of the other funds.
On the lion's share that's gone out.
Yes, technically, yes.
Maybe this will get the ball rolling with the others.
Potentially.
Okay. All right. I'll make a motion to approve the financials.
Second?
Commissioner Warren?
Yes?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for your time again.
How are you?
I'm well, and I hope you all are well. Airport Authority is requesting the board approve and reimburse request number 4, which is our final, for the FAA AIP grant 027-2023 for the construction of the parallel taxiway. This was the first phase, the design phase. I did receive that closeout letter from the FAA this morning. I left a copy with Christine.
Okay, great. Very good. All right, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
Commissioner Warren?
Yes?
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
So real quick, Rick.
Yes.
I had talked to Chip Hess yesterday. I think Jimmy, he had said he had talked to you also then regarding the project there that they're working on. I guess you guys are gonna be here next week then?
Yes.
For that?
Mhm.
And,
And I left the request with the office
Yeah.
this morning as
Yeah.
well.
so just basically to kind of summarize then, we look, just kind of give us a little bit of a rundown, just so that, you know, we, as far as just for some clarity on what we were looking at doing then next week. As far as the project goes, we're moving towards doing an additional hangar project there.
Yes, the hangar project is an 8-unit T hangar, approximately 12,500 square feet. Similar to the one we did a couple of years ago.
Okay,
It's essentially the same size footprint.
okay.
Is it 8?
8 unit.
Or 12?
8,
8. What's the one that we built?
10 was the previous one.
Okay.
But this would you have the ability of holding a larger aircraft?
That's the thing, is this larger aircraft. One of them that's going in there has a 60-foot wingspan, for example.
Right. So, and then just to also, just to, you know, to kind of get it moving forward too, that, I mean, I know I've worked with you on this too, but just so it's, you know, 100% transparent, is most of these hangars are already gonna be sold before that thing is even completed.
They've been sold for over a year.
Right.
As we've been trying to put this project together. Within a few hours of when I announced that we were gonna start working on this project, I already had people commit and put down money, deposits.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my current wait list outside of those people is 32 as of this morning.
Wow.
It keeps growing, and we had a number of hangars open up. A couple people passed away, unfortunately, and their airplanes left, and those were filled instantly.
Okay. And then for next week, if you can bring us like a little comparison too, just so that we can just get a little bit of a, you know, of an understanding also of how the fuel has really changed a lot for you guys down there, of being able to be available with the new machine and, you know, the fuel consumption and what's actually being sold. If you had the ability, you know, between now and then, just to kind of get some numbers too, just so the board could understand and, you know, see the you know, the value of what you've been doing down there, you know. I applaud you all the time, because it's, you know, with the amount of years that I've been, you know, here as commissioner, the airport has never been to the level that it is today, and I think that, you know, your board and you have a lot to do with that, and it's been
Gotta
very,
agree.
very positive.
Yes, and with your support as well. And I just happen to have those numbers off the top of my head because I'm putting together a budget. When I first came, we were selling about 10 to 12,000 gallons a year. This past year, it was 17,000.
Right.
So we've almost doubled in the last 4 years,
Yeah,
5 years.
yeah. So that's, you know, and that's a big plus, and the convenience factor also, and also the attraction to keep filling the hangars and what it does for people. So, yeah, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and it's really kind of exciting to see.
And we've been bumping up our hangar rents as well without any attrition. And we're now in the kind of that premium range. We're pretty close to being above most of the other airports in the area, but we still have people wanting to come here. So, it's just been.
And every year the rentals are raising, right?
Yeah,
Naturally.
this year we're going to raise 4%.
And I think the parallel taxiway will really make a difference too, to attract people even more, so.
It's gonna, you know, we're kind of this little baby airport right now. It's gonna really put us over the top,
Yeah.
I believe.
No, but yeah, I just, you know, sometimes we don't thank people enough in some of these areas, and you guys have really left a you know, great mark for Geauga with that airport.
And looking forward to the Ohio Airports plan that's coming out, we hope next year, that will show what that economic impact is. You know, in 2014, when it was last done, we had an economic impact of about 10.8 million, which was actually higher than Lake County, Ashtabula, Portage County, and pretty close to what Cuyahoga County was contributing. So we're a real powerhouse in Northeast Ohio as far as airports and
All the
what we
business.
contribute to the communities.
All the business travel in and out of there, I don't think people actually realize how much commerce is coming in, not commerce, but as far as people coming in and out for
Oh, yeah.
business.
A lot more than you realize.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And companies that are, you know, potentially already housing their aircraft there, but would like to house their aircraft there. I've talked to a CEO of a very large company that's in Cuyahoga County right now, housing a plane, that he said if it was the right scenario, he would much rather be here, because he's closer to his company, his family, and everything else.
And we're putting together potential plans for
Yeah.
operations like
But
that,
they,
with developing that.
and I've had a few customers over the years fly in to either look at equipment or whatever, and it's just so convenient to have that right there. And, so, but no, I applaud you guys in this business plan. It's, again, from the beginning, what it was just kind of a little, you know, well, it's never been a little airport, but it's, you know, not being utilized maybe to its potential that it is now. And this has really been, and the safety of it now with that parallel taxiway is just huge, so.
We're looking at it different the last 4 or 5 years, because it's a business plan,
Yeah.
the gasoline. You know, we gave UH what they wanted, a more improved.
That's huge.
hangar.
So happy with that.
And we want UH helicopter here. We don't want it in Orwell. We don't need it in
Right.
Harrisville. We need it here. So
Yes.
we made them happy, and I think we're taking the right steps.
And we have a great relationship with them right now, which is another packet I gave you, was the new lease, the extra two inked originals.
We're still working on the insurance certificate.
Yeah, still working on that.
Well, the other thing too is, I mean, I think that, you know, I beat my head up against the wall too with other board members on the commissioner's board before, that just kind of looked at this airport not as, you know, economic development tool, but rather, you know, just a hobbyist location, and it wasn't, and I appreciate, you know, Tim and Jim, both, you know, you guys have supported this a lot, and I appreciate that, because I think everybody is seeing the value of that, and you know, I think it's just good, I do.
And that's one of the things that I'm trying to do is bring more community in. One of the things that I've been kind of thinking about going forward is having a veterans coffee and donut hour at the airport, just to bring people in to show us what we have, to, you know, just very proud of what we've developed there, and I just want to share that with people. The things that we're doing with the Cardinal schools, with Berkshire schools.
Yeah, do they have the flight plans out of there, the teaching, are you able to take the school through the airport yet? Do they have that there yet, or not?
No, we don't
No.
do anything with them at the airport other than just basic tours.
If somebody wanted to go get their license to fly, can they do all that right there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Um, We do have a tenant that is restoring an aircraft currently that wants to put it into a rental
Like a school?
agreement.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a school, but just have it available for
Okay.
people to rent.
Oh, okay. I always thought that would be nice to have that ability to, you know, people like new beginner,
Yeah.
they could do that there.
The flying club that was started there 2 years ago, they're up to 15 members. They're going to grow another 5 members here shortly. They're in the process of purchasing a second aircraft and are looking at their third already. So the demand out there just in the area is really
Yeah.
peaked.
And that's, you know, one of the few spots in government you've seen that you get, you know, not yet completely self-sustained on your own, but you're getting pretty close, you know, with the fuel, with the rental income off these buildings, once, you know, help give a little jolt to get those things up and going, but once they're up, you know, you guys are gonna have the ability to control your own destiny there.
Yes, very, very much so. And just another thing too, we're going to be offering ground schools for instrument and private pilots coming up here early part of next year.
Good.
So anybody that's interested in learning to fly
Nice.
can learn more about it.
Good. Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Look
Thank you for your time.
Hearing more.
See you next week.
See you next week and
Yeah.
probably the week after.
All right, sounds good, take care now.
Thank you.
Don't push it, next week's
Just remember, we're not back until after Christmas.
Yeah.
Morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you? All right. I'm with the engineer's office, and I will be presenting item number 6 on today's agenda. County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the unit price contract with Miller Builders LLC for the construction of a salt storage building in Clarendon Township in the amount of $637,780.00.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I just have a quick question.
Sure.
The bid, how many bidders do we have on this?
We had 2 that actually submitted
Okay. And Miller came in,
the lowest.
no.
Yep, and the engineer's estimate was $750,000, so it was quite a bit under the estimate.
And what was the square footage of this one again?
So it's 92 by 120, so it stores about 6,600 tons
Okay.
of salt.
And you're gonna put it right next to the other one?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And we built a new pad up there too, didn't you guys put a new
Yes.
pad and
Yep.
everything, so it's ready to,
Correct.
as far as,
Yep, they'll come in, they'll slap it in.
okay. Good. Okay.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Michelle Pemberton, the Director for Veteran Services, with John Rhea, the Veteran Service Commission President. We're here to talk about, we're requesting the board to discuss the Courthouse Veterans Memorial Project. Recently, this year, I was reached out by Jerry and Glenn Vernick to relocate a plaque that was dedicated by the Chardon Auxiliary back in 1957. So it was up in the northwest corner of the courthouse, but to the renovations, we needed to move that. So we took it back to our office. A citizen donated his time and redid this plaque for us. So we have been housing it since then. During the past several months, we've been working on a plan to relocate it, along with the existing Killed in Action Memorial. The county memorial is also missing 2 veterans' names. These veterans are Staff Sergeant Sean Landris, who was killed in action in January of 2004, and then Chief Thibodeau, or Christopher Thibodeau, he was killed in 2011. We've decided that relocating the VFW plaque to the existing memorial that is already there, and adding a Veterans KIA for those Operation Enduring Freedom. It would incorporate both the 2 new stones, a walkway that would make it accessible for anyone, replace the uneven brick pavers, and to include a place for people to sit and pay respect to those. The plans that you have in front of you are there.
Looks beautiful.
We're not asking for additional funds. We have funds that are left over at the end of the year. We have $95,000 left that we're just asking to possibly use those funds to get this project started, so we can get it completed in a timely manner. And
So this is the one,
yes,
yeah.
that's
And
the one that
gonna
was
go-
removed.
This is what it looked like.
Okay. And they're gonna move it to here?
Right.
Yes, we're going to be adding 2 different stones.
Okay.
One to replace this plaque, and then one to add the 2 veterans that were killed in action.
Oh, good, okay. That'll look great.
So basically what we're doing is taking 2 separate monuments and combining
Make 'em one, yes.
Being that this older one was at the northwest corner of the
Yeah.
courthouse, which pretty much nobody knew about.
Right, it's kinda on the back
Right.
of the building.
I didn't even know it was there.
I didn't know it
Yeah.
was there either.
Yeah, it's a cool plaque though.
Yeah.
Monument, you know.
And so we're just combining the 2 and making it so that it's a very nice monument for
Yeah.
Geauga County at the center there.
So this will come right up to the front with the other, yeah.
Yes, we're not replacing what's already there.
Yeah.
The flagpole will still remain there, everything, because there are actual plaques that were for that flagpole, so we will not be doing anything with that. It's just making it a little wider, more accessible for the
Sure.
veterans. And we would hope to be having this done possibly by September. The last weekend of September is Gold Star Family Day.
Okay. Do you need any assistance, other than, obviously you said financially you're good, but do you need any assistance, say, from the county or the maintenance or any other to do this, or are you just gonna contract someone?
We're gonna contract.
Okay.
That is the picture, it was
Okay.
from Sean's, Sam's Landscaping.
Oh, okay.
We had 2 different people give us kind of like designs,
Yep.
and we went with this one. Obviously, it's the accessibility for us.
Yep.
It's huge, it would bring such cohesion to the new addition to the county courthouse and
Absolutely.
to have this.
Plus what we did was we tried to make it like maintenance-free as much as we
Little as
could.
possible.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's still a little bit of maintenance, but that was big on our mind, so that it didn't take a lot of upkeep, so.
That's what I think when I'm doing my beds around my house. Yeah.
Right, very small bushes.
Well, I told my wife she could plant all the flowers she
Yeah.
wants, but when they grow to the top,
That's
as
right.
tall as the grass, they get mowed down.
Put gravel, my gravel.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we had, I also had presented from Sam's how much his original cost was, $42,000.
Okay.
So we're asking up to $50,000 because of the time change from when this was presented to us back in September. Like I said, we have $95,000 that would be going back into the general fund anyways.
Okay,
So,
absolutely, I think that's a great, like I said, I'm sure if the board, if anything is ever needed beyond that, I'm sure would be in support of it, so.
thank you very much.
Real quick, how's the monument right here in Merritt?
County Memorial?
Yeah, how's that going?
Wonderful.
In good shape?
Absolutely, we
Yeah.
had it paved last year to
Okay.
make it more accessible. We've had some trees done, last year we also had pressure washed.
Good, okay.
We keep adding people's
So it's-
names.
Tip top, no,
Tip-top.
okay. good.
Something
Okay.
that people can
Yes.
love to go and
Great.
see.
And we see a lot of people actually up there now because you can walk in the summertime and stuff,
Yeah.
and they go and they'll sit up there.
Go visit,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's nice,
Well, I'm 100% in favor of this project.
thank you.
No doubt.
Do you have any questions?
Appreciate you bringing this to our attention and bringing this in, and,
Parks had a motion to approve them utilizing those funds.
okay, well, I'll make
Yes.
that motion to approve.
Second?
It says that, the request is that they're authorizing the use of their unencumbered funds for 2024 to create a more accessible and inviting memorial for $50,000.
Okay, so,
Christian Wamblatt from the Veteran Service. In addition to what Michelle said, when we moved the Geauga County Veterans plaque, we did find a time capsule under, there was a letter in the bottle, and it was actually pretty weathered, but we were able to recondition it.
Yes, it is
I think
downstairs.
Michelle has it, so if you guys would ever want to take a look at it. I thought
so
it
it's
was
a letter?
Yes.
It actually gives the date, step-by-step of how this came about, and they had a ceremony and the dedication of it and everything.
Oh, good.
So it is
From
downstairs.
1957?
July 4th, 1957.
Very cool.
And we hope that we will be able to make a copy of that and place it underneath the new one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's, nobody really knew about it, right?
Nobody knew. I asked
No.
everybody, the genealogy, everybody, nobody knew. They had no clue.
Well, we should keep a record of the next time when
Yes.
we do bury it, that there's some, yeah.
Yes,
We
absolutely.
did a big search when we found it, who it was from and where it was. and
Yeah,
nobody-
that's pretty cool, though. I like that. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Very cool.
thank you very much.
Check the vote.
Christine?
Yes,
Absolutely.
Yes.
thanks for your time.
Thank you so
very much.
much.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Item number 8 is regarding Indian State chief building official. He has 14 building today. To be effective January 31st, 2025.
So moved.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
And then item number 9 is the raise the position of advertised for the chief building official. The position will remain posted until filled.
So moved.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
And with that, as we discussed last week with Mr. Spada about his, he would like to be reconsidered or considered for rehire after, so we expect that he will be submitting his application, but we are going out to the general public also to see if there's anybody out there that may take that. And with that, there's a notice requirement that is required to be read according to Ohio Revised Code 145.381, which basically says that, while the Commissioner's Office will post and accept applications for the chief building official position, the board expects that Mr. Spada will apply for reemployment. If he does between 15 and 30 days before reemployment is to begin, the board will hold a public meeting on his reemployment, which is acknowledging to the public that he may be a retired rehire.
Okay.
Retired rehire.
All right, thanks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Item number 10, we are requesting that you approve and execute an amended resolution because when it was approved and I saw it, I noticed that the ORC number was incorrect. And then I did that, so I'm fixing it.
Oh, that's on 10, or agenda item 10?
Yes, and this is just an amended resolution to correct the Ohio Revised Code number in the original resolution that you approved.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so moved.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
As you know, we brought to you a new credit card policy, and part of the reason we did that was because the law changed and allowed for much broader uses of credit cards by government agencies. But we also had requests from the sheriff and JFS and Department on Aging that they would also like to have the opportunity to use a credit card in unforeseeable or emergency situations without having to pre-notify about the amount. And in order to do that, we have to pass a resolution, which we're going to do probably as part of the organizational meeting. But by law, the county auditor needs to be notified that you plan to approve that resolution, and that's what this is about. Notification to the county auditor that the Board of Commissioners plans to pass a resolution allowing for use of credit cards in unforeseeable or emergency situations.
All right, I'll make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner Warren?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 12, Commissioner-elect Brackey is requested to go to the Township Association meeting on January 8th. It would be $32 for that, because she will be commissioner at that time, but because we're writing that check now, we need to have the board approve
Okay, so moved.
writing that check.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Thank you.
Was that number item 12?
That was
Yes.
all, yes.
Well, I have to bring something up before we go into executive session. I attended the CCAO Winter Conference and took a class on America 250. It's the 250th anniversary of this great nation. It's going to be July 4th, 2026. And I just want to, I learned a lot about it. And I'm requesting, or making a motion that we have Jerry create a resolution that we are members of this, because there's grant money available to do activities within our county. And my motion is to make that resolution.
Okay.
Give Jerry permission to do that for next
Go
week.
ahead, get the resolution
So that we
prepared.
can get some stuff for grant money, for
Very good.
activities.
Yeah, for sure.
That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Cool. 250. Time flies.
Okay, all right, and this would be for an executive session with Water Resources for the purpose of discussing compensation of a public employee. Nick, will be attending, Linda, Jerry.
I'll make the motion. Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
I